Coming up on UATV, the latest with weather and road conditions.
And delays due to weather affect the Business Career Center in a way they never have before. UATV starts right now.
Live from the University of Arkansas, this is UATV News at 9.
On a Tuesday night, welcome into UATV News. I'm Jacob Penner.
And I'm Veronica Calhoun. Thank you for joining us.
Veronica, cold weather, and I think it's here to stay.
I hope not, but let's check in with Tevin for the current conditions.
Hello, Veronica and Jacob. I am outside tonight, and let's be honest, compared to yesterday and nights before, it's not that bad. Today's high was about 45 degrees, and that was at 2:59 this afternoon. The low was 11 degrees. That was really earlier this morning. We also had some cloud coverage that came in around 8 a.m. It was existent then, but right around noon, we start to open up. We saw mostly sunny skies with a breeze from the east at about 7 to 11 miles an hour. Currently right now, this is what I said. It's not that cold, let's be real. It's 32 degrees, and it feels like 29, so you will need a light jacket tonight, honestly. Mostly clear tonight, and then there is a wind from the south at about 5 to 10 miles an hour that's going to keep us fairly warm tonight, and we could see some freezing conditions tonight. In fact, we will. Not in the single digits, but in the upper teens, maybe even some 20s in some spots of the river valley. But other than that, we're going to see some refreeze tonight. I'll talk about that refreeze and what that means for school conditions coming up later on in the forecast. Guys, back to you.
Even though some of that snow did melt today, more winter weather could be in the forecast. Tara Bradham's here to tell us how to stay safe on the roads in these conditions.
That's right, Jacob. I just got off the phone with a sergeant down at the Fayetteville Police Department who told me that there haven't been any incidents tonight. Most of the main roads are passable but still dangerous in some spots, and most of the side roads are still covered in ice. Now take a look. This is the storm that started it all on Sunday. While conditions aren't very good out here, we still have to get around. So here are a few tips to stay safe on the roads. First, allow 3 times as much space as you normally would in order to stop. With slippery roads, your car could slide farther than you think when you hit the brakes. And when you do hit the brakes, make sure you do it gently to avoid skidding. If your brakes lock up, make sure you gently back off of them. Lastly, be careful on bridges, overpasses, and back roads, which still haven't melted yet. Even if temperatures are above freezing, if conditions are wet, you may still hit some icy spots in the bridges or in shady areas. As you can see from the footage I shot earlier, many roads still weren't melted this afternoon. Now, of course, it's always safer to stay inside whenever possible, but if you do need to get out and about, make sure you stick to main roads and drive slowly. Reporting live for UATV, I'm Tara Bradham. Jacob?
Well, as Tara mentioned, there are still some slick spots out there. If you do have to head out, make sure you allow extra time to get places.
Even with the delayed start, the university has been working to clear roads all day. Tractors are scraping streets to make driving conditions easier. They also worked on clearing sidewalks to make walking conditions better for students.
By now, students are used to the delayed start after a snow day, but today's delay had some students simply asking why. Cameron Woods is live with more.
All right, thank you, Jacob. Now, I know it's pretty hard to tell out here, but not only is it a little cold, but it's extremely quiet. And that's because in addition to the delayed start today, campus was also closed down for the second time this year. Now, the delay started at 12 noon, and with classes starting at 12:55, with only 2 bus routes going on, blue and yellow, which are the only bus routes that go on campus. Many students asked why this was going to be. Director of Media Relations, Steve Voorhees, I sat down with him, and he said that it was a lot that went into this decision.
Running, I think the decision was that was a fair amount of students would be able to make it to class with the buses, and that as the day progressed, more bus routes would become open as the roads thawed a bit.
Now, after talking with Steve, he said that the first snowstorm in which the classes had to be canceled was in the year 68-69. From then until 2008, only 18 days where the school was closed. However, from 2008 until now, the school has missed 20 days, and this has been the 6th day this year. Back to you at the desk, Jacob.
Thanks, Cameron. And Voorhees also wants to remind and ensure students the university always puts them first.
The icy weather hasn't just affected students. The Business Career Fair was originally scheduled for earlier today. The delayed start to school has caused them to postpone it until tomorrow. The business and STEM career fairs usually are held separately because they target specific majors.
Not only is the U of A affected by this weather, but also public schools. Some schools have decided already to close tomorrow. For some of them, it's going on the third day in a row just for this snowstorm. The Big Four school districts decided to open with limited bus routes. If you have any questions about your school, go to your school district's website to find out more.
Northwest Arkansas averages 5 inches of snow a year. 17 inches have already fallen this academic year, and it's causing problems for schools, parents, and students. UATV's Emily Tubert has more.
The most recent winter storm has caused schools in northwest Arkansas to close. This is the 13th day schools have been out this academic year due to weather. In an effort to make up missed days, some schools are holding classes on Saturdays, some are looking to have class during spring break, and others are extending the school year into the summer. This is causing problems for families who have prior commitments on these days.
Parents have already made plans for those days, and we have to either send our kids to school or forfeit money if we've got vacations for spring break or trips or anything.
The weather is also causing problems for parents who rely on daycare. When school is out, there is no daycare, and parents who work are having to stay home to watch their kids. The children don't seem to mind now, but they know they'll have to make the days up.
It really doesn't bother me because then I don't have to be in school. But I mean, during the summer it's hot, I would rather not be in school. So I don't enjoy it.
Weather isn't the main reason for school closures. If you take a look behind me, you can see the roads haven't been cleared, and this prevents buses from being able to pick up kids and take them to and from school. Reporting for UATV, I'm Emily Tubert.
Schools in the area have had a total of 13 snow days so far. That is the most in recent history for
About 1,800 people have had their power restored today. A fire late last night shut off power to some Fayetteville Ozarks Electric customers. One of the protective devices on a box serving the general area came open. Crews restored power to about 1,100 people almost an hour after the fire started, but for some, the lights didn't come back on until midnight. The station where the fire first started was fixed today.
The amount of snow and ice we have experienced this season is wearing on the roads. Road crews have been surveying the streets and fixing what they think is necessary. Now all of the road crews are clearing the snow and ice. The Transportation Department representative says they will permanently fix the road problems when the weather permits. Until then, they will temporarily patch up spots on the street.
Trash pickup and recycling services are delayed for the city of Fayetteville. People who normally have their trash collected Monday through Wednesday should set it out to be collected. The weight of trash trucks and the slippery road conditions make collection too risky for drivers. Those services resume tomorrow as the roads continue to improve, and they should be caught up with collections by Sunday.
Stranded drivers on I-40 are getting some assistance. Governor Mike Beebe sent units from the National Guard and Arkansas Game and Fish Commission to deliver gas to people who have run out while being stuck in traffic. They also brought blankets and other things to people who have been stuck overnight. They have been working to help people since the storm started.
All this talk about weather, let's head back outside and talk to Tevin Wooten with another look at what's going on now.
That's right, Tevin, what's the weather going to look like when we head to class tomorrow?
Okay, so here's the deal for tomorrow. Tomorrow, do expect some really cold temperatures, and we're going to take a look at that daytime tracker because I love to track the weather for you here at the U of A. Tomorrow morning, a sunrise at about 6:41 a.m., so that sunrise is getting earlier and earlier, and when it's going to get darker earlier and earlier as well until we hit daylight savings time. It's going to be really dark, but tomorrow morning, expect a sunrise at 6:41. 11 is what it's going to feel like, and 11 is what it is, so bundle up tomorrow. Be careful because there will be some freezing spots. There's some refrozen spots tomorrow morning on your commute to class, and then it's noon. At noon, it's 36 degrees, and it's going to be a mild or a relatively warmer day because we're going to be above freezing. And then at 5 p.m., it's going to be about 42 degrees with the sunset at 6:15 in the afternoon. Guys, now talking about tomorrow as far as the class delay, I will expect a delay tomorrow because of this. Because of that 11 degrees you saw, there will be some refreezing, and they close early tonight, so it's likely they'll do the same thing tomorrow with that delay going back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Tevin. Coming up, we've got everything from national to right here on campus about Mardi Gras.
And a former Secretary of State is coming here to the U of A. Stay tuned. You're watching UATV News.